Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Cradle. Unfortunately, we've got another one of these mini games we're gonna have to do, and very possibly there's yet another one of these mini games that's between having to spend a lot of effort to get up into this platform so that we could get it in this box and start the mini game, and then actually having to play the mini games. It's really just a frustration point followed by another frustration point, almost certainly. The good news is, if the next hour goes well, we could be done with this game. I'm not really sure where the story is going to go, how much of a big revelation we're really going to see. It seems like if you take the backstory that's being told to us out, we are really just wandering around a walking simulator, finding parts to repair a robot, and that's not really what I expected this game was going to be. So we need to collect 30 orange cubes this time for Magic Lakes. Cubes, hurl cubes into the uprising spring. Use bombs to destroy gray blocks. Well, where do we get bombs? Apply orange cubes to red ones to create bombs to explode. So, what happened in the one of these before was we ran into problems where this whole system kind of very quickly fell apart. They're not even mentioning the white blocks in the instructions this time. Alright. So the gray blocks tended to cause some problems for me, because it would cause us to have not really the best of experiences. So let's see. You can see there's kind of an easy way to fall down. Let's go ahead and toss these. These are not getting easier in any way, where it definitely could be getting easier if we wanted it to. I'm trapped. I can't do anything. I have no items, and they've encased me in a gray block. And see, if this was supposed to be a story thing that happened, I'd be fine with it, but I don't think it is. And I don't think I can just wait. Oh, I guess maybe after a while they do turn into reusable things. Alright, so there is a... Okay. I didn't know this happened. Alright, well, that solves a little bit of the problem, but not a lot. I'm gonna have to go down fairly quickly here because there's not going to be any more cubes. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to blow things up if I can avoid blowing things up. Yeah, and I don't know what the deal with those gray cubes are in particular. So I can't really do anything right now because we've lost our wind. We could take a moment to reevaluate what we're looking at, I suppose. Right, there we go. And pull all of these in. Okay. So that got us where like this is ridiculous. This is way too slow. Like even it's first of all finger numbing, but also just way too slow to be the way one should actually do this. So then your other option is to do something like that, and maybe that helps you a little bit, but not really enough, because I need to make a pathway. Let's see, do we think that there's any more? I'm gonna have to get down lower, and I don't think that there's too much more to deal with. So don't drop this piece. Right. I might as well throw even the blue one, because go ahead and throw that. Get rid of it. Oh, no. So here's a problem. We're going to start at the top again. And unless there's something I missed up here, I don't think that there's too much reason for me to be up here. So I can do something like that, and then take that, and then kind of clear the way a little bit, but it's kind of all I can do. Yeah, hidden in these little corners, there might be something, but there's really no telling. Yep. So down we go to the next section. There's a white cube. So put that there, and then place that, and then take that, and then take that. There's really just nothing to this. There's danger of frustration, and that's it. Like a major danger that you will just get frustrated while playing or attempting to do all of this and fail, and then have to start all over again. See, if I throw that, will that make its way up? I don't know, like, it's taking a sweet time. Yeah, and just short. Let's see. See if we can make a bridge so that I can walk over here. Come on. No, don't drop. Oh, these controls are still awkward. These are still extremely awkward controls. And that's still causing us trouble. I really am just short. I'm gonna try and come down here, but I'm dangerously close to hitting the bottom. And I think they just disintegrated one of my cubes. Maybe the single falling was the thing that messed us up. Falling down just that one time. Otherwise it could be, you know, it could be pretty much anything. It could be a cube hidden in lots and lots of places. Or it could be that there's, let's see, another destroyed cube. Actually, if I can just pick up that and place that, I think I can just kind of crawl out of here to the top. Maybe that was the same case for other things. Alright. Alright, if I can kind of get over here, I think I might be close enough to getting everything. Take that and then place that there, and then take that, place that there, and then take that, and let's see, I probably destroyed it. We've got the things, we just have no way of getting up there. Like, because here's the deal. I hit that and it hits the bottom, and we need a clearing effect. So I'm hoping, like, I guess the only thing I can do is I've got to climb up. That we can just find a area where there either is a red cube or something that would clear out this whole area. Let's see. This is just all over the place. I guess we can do this. if we can hit it just right. But I need to go back down and get a couple more. Unless that was the last one. Alright. Well, seems like I may have lucked out here. If we can double check a lot of this and then toss just 2 in there, we did it. Yeah, that was like 15 minutes. 15 minutes of gameplay that didn't need to happen. Hopefully this is the last one of these we ever have to do. This is the 4th one we've had to do. I suspect there might be a 5th one. Honestly, I should just... these items should have just been in the rooms. Like, turn the rooms in the storage rooms. Hey, even if you want to do the 3D hidden object thing that you kind of did in the yurt and have a bunch of garbage in those rooms, I'd be fine with that. So, yeah, if this whole section here was just full of shelves, full of things, and we had to search through them, that'd be fine. Even if we had to use a different scanner to scan for the specific object, I'd be kind of fine with that. This is not the sliding animation as much as that was just a walking animation. Our new quest is to install the new synchronizer in Ida because Ida's falling apart rapidly.
I know why there was so little information about me. August 15th was my first workday at the Grabera Garden. I had come here for the first time with that group of kids, and the explosion occurred 2 hours later.
So it sounds like she might be either unknowingly or knowingly the person who caused the desprotoxin explosion around the Grabera Gardens, which is secretly a mental facility, not a amusement park. Like, nobody does that in the real world, by the way. You know, a child mental hospital, as far as I know, which I really don't, but as far as I know, they still mostly look like a child mental hospital. You paint the walls to look a little bit more kid-friendly and welcoming, but you don't build what would be potentially $1 million amusement park around the concept. Although I guess this is also slight in the future, so maybe the idea is future technology. Future technology solves all of these questions. But then if future technology could build things without it really costing anything, then why am I still living in a yurt in the middle of Mongolia? And frankly, why would the hospital that is treating these people all over the world be set in Mongolia unless you were trying to hide it? And frankly, if you were kind of trying to hide it, I don't think Mongolia is the best place. It is a little secluded, but not that secluded. Interesting 3-bolt lock. I don't think having 3 bolts would really do anything. And then some kind of slot device to unlock and lock it.
Did you bring it?
Yeah.
I did. Hold on while I replace it.
Okay. I have no idea where it goes. The map never got big enough on the wall to justify... maybe it goes there? Yep. Just rip it out of her instead of shutting her down. Did I put it in her? Did I put the right one in there? This build-up sequence is rather long. Like, yeah, this this icon is supposed to teach you a lot about the components, but it doesn't really do a good job because it's too small. It doesn't get any larger.
Well,
It's fine.
thoughts still messed up?
No, everything's fine.
Then it helped.
For now. We'll see if it lasts.
How long will your charge last?
About 2 weeks, maybe less. Say, know what I found? The correspondence of that operator, Mark, with one of his colleagues. There are some strange tidbits here. Here, listen to this.
So we're getting more backstory about this explosion.
To be honest, it doesn't really interest me.
Wait, this is important. It's about your parents.
Interesting. How would it be about my parents? We've had like no conversation whatsoever about my parents. So yeah, that's weird.
What?
Your parents. And me as well. Here, listen. It's a work correspondence. They're talking about research into memory transfer between people using telepathy.
It is way too late into this game to throw in telepathy. This was doing a hard sci-fi emotions, create a chemical. I wouldn't really even call it a hard sci-fi, but it was going robots. It wasn't going espers or ESP or telepathy or anything like that. So this really feels like we are coming out of left field to introduce
Telepathy?
this.
That's what it says here. They're discussing telepathy and also mention some kind of side effect. They refer to it as NPR0, the NPR0 effect.
So again, the story continues if I click and what of it, so we ask what is it?
What is it?
Well, if my understanding is correct, it's a sensation. A strange sensation experienced when one transmits one's memory.
Well, one would assume if you're transferring your memory, you might have a strange sensation.
And what of it?
Mark writes that at one time he was very interested in the matter, studying NPR0 thoroughly after that incident with Ida.
That incident?
We must have been acquainted, even though I remember nothing about Mark or any unusual effects. And I cannot imagine what incident he's referring to.
It is possible there are two people by the name Ida, although it's also interesting it's spelled IDA, and at least in the West, that would be pronounced Ida.
And what about my parents?
That's here too. He recalls working at a research station before the garden was constructed. There weren't many people around in those days. His circle of contacts was limited to several work colleagues and his Mongolian friends. He writes, "It's the family living in a yurt not far from the landing platform." That's your family, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Where are your parents now?
They died long ago. Why?
Why did they
could have
die?
probably answered many of our questions.
I guess
Maybe
they
Mark
died
even told
because
them
they
about them.
couldn't transfer into a body. But inevitably, I think the grandfather I thought was the one that died in his sleep before he could get an in-body installed. Oh, by the way, we're still getting flickering in the eyes.
Are you alright?
Yes, maybe. Maybe he told them.
Ida, is everything fine?
Everything fine is an ordinary word. Just a note, like the weather, chilly or warm, but we were looking for other research. Family records, kind letters, so... What was that just now? More of the same?
Yes. Again.
So the whole thing we just did was not worth it at all.
What?
I don't think I have much time. Please, help me untangle this web with Mark. I want you to look through your parents' things. They may have left behind notes, journals.
Understood. I'll go look for them. Tabaha is here.
So Tapaha will give us more information. And I guess that's what we're supposed to go deal with. first. And that was labeled as parting words, which pretty much indicates that by the time I come back, Ida's going to be completely shut down and dead. Oh, by the last recording, by the way, in the last recording, we found out that you can crouch with the control button. Not that you need to, except for when you're looking for the TV remote. So you spend the entirety of this game not using that, and then all of a sudden you do need to use it. And I had to basically look up in the menus what it was, what the button was on the keyboard.
Looks like it'll rain.
Rain? Today?
There'll be rain and thunder, and it'll sweep all profiteers into a ditch.
What happened?
You got any idea how much the search cost me?
He lost his glasses.
No. How much?
1.5.
1.5 what? 1.5 is units of his memories, 1.5 points on his chest, 1.5 of that chemical that he supposedly created.
Is that a lot?
Well, when and by Mongolia has the internet ever cost 1.5?
So, to connect to the internet, you're paying.
I'll pay you back.
I won't take money from your destitute self.
All right. Thanks.
The information was paid for and delivered by a personal courier.
Very nice. So, what did you find out?
Well, first of all, the Gbera Garden was never about entertainment.
So, his voice is echoing almost like a female voice. I wonder if these people really are just becoming a mix of different humans' personality and DNA over and over again, and nobody was actually an original human.
It was a hospital, I know. But what happened to it?
The kids were all patients, yeah? Well, one of them had his container overflow. The potassium exploded. That's what happened.
Was it the kid that was talking to himself while he was being transferred into the in-body?
That's all?
Hold your horses. The story ain't so simple. Think. A person gets his body replaced and blows up minutes later. You might ask, how could they not have checked the container? Turns out they did check, and the container was empty. And yet, 15 minutes later, it up and explodes. In other words, the capsule filled and overflowed rapidly. Pretty much instantly, in point of fact.
There must have been a reason.
Must have been, sure, but it wasn't found. All that's known is that there was a mishap with this particular child's transfer. Turns out he had been talking to himself while in the booth. That was the mishap. As to why he blew up, that part's unclear. When he came outside, all his stats were normal, and he looked calm. You can see it on the video.
Oh, are we going to get to watch a video?
He was talking to himself? What about, I wonder?
We already heard about this story,
Nobody knows.
in part.
The conversation wasn't saved.
What's the video you mentioned?
From the security cameras, you can see everything. Here he is, coming out of the booth in an M-body. Here's the sword acceptance ceremony.
Sword
Here he is,
acceptance
getting
ceremony?
off the stage and heading into the garden. He's walking evenly, takes a seat on the edge of a flower bed. Then, this part is a bit unclear.
What's happening?
A child comes up to him as he's sitting. A teeny little thing. Walks up and says something to him. Looks like the kid fancies the sword and is asking for it.
Why can I click what sword? He just said you were given a sword in a sword acceptance ceremony.
What sword?
A toy. Just a shiny toy sword. They were given to the kids as presents after their body replacements. Endure a transfer, get a toy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So our hero hands over the sword. He's holding on to the hilt, hand extended. The child is trying to take the sword but can't.
Is he teasing the other kid?
Why can't he?
Because he's grabbing at the blade, which is holographic. The kiddo's fingers swish right through the air, through the illusion.
Oh, interesting.
I see. And then what happens?
Then, nothing happens. It's the end of the recording. The explosion is coming up. Here's a grown-up approaching the kids. That's the transfer operator. He walks up to his patient and asks him something. The latter turns around and blows up a second later. And that's it. Doesn't clear up much, I'm afraid.
What was his name? This might be an interesting revolution.
What was his name?
Mark, or who are you asking about? The one who blew up? That was Albert.
And the other child?
The little one? Don't know. He was one of the locals. Not sure how he ended up inside the garden.
So it was me. How did I cause somebody to blow up?
Have fun with your little mystery now, but I'm off.
So yeah, it does seem like he sold his glasses.
See you tomorrow?
I don't know. It might be 3-4 days, maybe a week. We'll see. All right, take care now. Don't get caught in the rain.
I wonder. It'd be silly if these weren't waterproof bodies.
Hold on, Tabaha. I've got one more question.
I told you everything I know about this garden. I got nothing else.
It's not about the garden. It's about my parents.
This is a weird speculation, but what if this game was originally not going to have robots in it at all? And it was just going to have Mongolian people? And then some kind of weird censorship happened there where they got turned into robots. That wouldn't make a ton of sense. Because then, if you were going to do that, why set it in Mongolia at all? You're still highlighting their dress and their culture in a small part, at least. But I wouldn't be surprised, frankly, if a country like Russia or China stopped a video game company from making a game about Mongolians. But
I wanted to remember something about my parents.
I don't know if there's ever been an instance like that. What is this?
What's this?
A key to the drawer of your Grandpa Bachin's bedside table.
Why do you have it?
Where did you get it?
Bachin left it to me. He said that if ever you ask me about your parents, to give you this key. So, that's what I'm doing. And I don't know nothing else. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Tabaha.
So again, we were given an item that could have just gone into our inventory. I don't really feel like you could play this game without knowing that your inventory existed and that you could pull it up and use it, so maybe the parting words, as the title of this chapter, I suppose, is what you would call these sections, although they are extremely short. Maybe the parting words were with him and not with Ida. Okay. That opens that. And we have what? Passport in the name of Benjamin Dahlia. Receipt for a scooter tire. Nothing there. Something I can talk to. A flashlight attachment. Alright. So wait a minute. Let's take this flashlight attachment and see how if this works on this. Attachment fits the flashlight, but I don't need it right now. Alright, so we'll take that. We'll take that. So there's something we're going to do with the flashlight. Train ticket. Bed G with wife. extinct insect stamp. Another stamp. Alright, so none of that's really important. Frankly, the gameplay in this is so frustrating. I don't have a desire to try and get detailed backstory and look at everything that could be here. A lot of this is really nice. If this was like a VR just art exhibit or something, and it was just in the yurt and there was just stuff to look at, and that's all you knew the game was ever going to be, and you didn't really sell it as a game, then I'd have more motivation to look and spend more time on it. It says Grandpa Batjin's journal. On the inside are several brief notes. The 2 pages split by a bookmark are dense with text. It is a message for Inaba. Oh. I'll only read what's addressed to me. I'll read all the entries. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to read all the entries. Alright. And this is not voice, so I will have to read this out loud, I guess. Otherwise, I'm not going to have any story at all. And it would be really, really dumb to just say, let's just click continue and not read any of this. Alright. I'm going to skip the dates for the most part. Well, now the home of my son is empty, so fate has decided. I'm not complaining either. Providence knows best. All that's left for me is to pray for them. I'll head out in the morning. It's over 200 miles. Better not forget a gas canister. It'll be dark when I get there. The wake will go on off all night, and come the morning I'll be gone, leaving everything as it is. Providence has got a plan, to be sure, in which my role is a modest one. As for the body, of course, I'll take care of him. As for the baby, of course, I'll take care of him. I'll take him with me to Olma Bator. I'm not so easily scared. No use guessing now. These parts won't let him go. No doubt about it. Evidently, we're destined to live here. So he was going to leave and he couldn't. What other option is there? Only abandoning him, and that I will not do. So clearly, the father/grandfather, I don't know, Batjin, tried to take me away from this area, and it was not happening. I was either passing out or getting magically transported back. Next part, he won't drink milk, he won't eat anything. How do I feed him? He's growing so fast. Isn't it early for a 2-week-old child to walk on his 2 feet? And where did he go at night? So apparently you're special. Very special. Let's see. Next, I can't figure out what it is he's found. Some kind of device. These days now, he's been playing with it. Dragging it in the dust. Gnawing at it. I suppose he's teething. He stopped growing. Hasn't changed in a week. A 5-year-old child is walking around the yurt. Keep walking, son. Your appearance doesn't scare me. But how is it that you look so much like him? I guess he's not. That's not for me to know. Providence has got a plan in which my role is a modest one. My job is to pray. Apparently that's some kind of Mongolian saying, I would guess. moving forward. I assume all of these are chronological, but they might be skipping large sections. An air shuttle flew by yesterday. It's been a long time since we've seen one. I couldn't make out any people inside. Could it be it's used as freight? What a meeting. Promise Providence, you reckless soul. If it weren't for anybody, you, Tabaha, would still be lying in the flower bed. But it's a solid money-making idea. The passage is free, which is always good. The tires on the scooter won't need replacing. I'm gonna sell it. No more notes, only one letter left. So I could have skipped all of that and just started here. Inabish, if you're reading this letter, that means your curiosity has led you into the past, to your forebears. Your parents' belongings are locked away in chests. I will give you the key with which to open them, but know this, no thing will give you any answers until you've asked yourself the right questions. Of the possible paths, only one will lead you to this question. Find the one true path and make my modest assistance ease your soul. You'll need a ray of phantom lights to illuminate your path and a wise clue to make it to the right decision of a crossroad. In this drawer is a round object. Use it to obtain the ray of light. In a book of wisdom you'll find a clue. Then go to my grave. Stand on the target stone and take a look around using the ray of light. Look carefully and you will see the spot from which you begin your path. A clue and a ray of light. Alright. So, find an attachment for the flashlight. Fix an attachment for the flashlight. Alright, this, I'm going to just kind of toss that. And that was a little too round of an object to have done that. So, you have to use this object on that object. Now. Okay. Next thing. Read the parable from the book under the altar. Find Bolton's grave. And for the yurt, use the flashlight and the clue from the parable to find the key to the chests. So just a chest here, a chest here, a chest here. Taking up a lot of space, frankly. A lot of space in this small yurt. Alright. Is this it? Book of the Dead. Pure white flame burns brightly, so blindingly that the point it pains the eyes. Behind it, pure white flame. Is that the book that we needed to read? Out in the field amidst the stones, there stands wooden piles. Alright, well. Let's start where we are supposed to start. So we start here with the Grandpa Botchin, and then we use this, and what is, so there's a crossroads there, I suppose. Do I want to go with the moon, which would be a pure white thing that doesn't really burn the eyes, or the sun, which, like, I mean, it pains the eyes. The sun would pain the eyes. The moon does not. You could stare at the moon all day if you wanted. You can see some flickering as the textures pop in and pop out. Although that's actually rather a far distance to have pop in and pop out, and that might explain some of the problem with this game stuttering. So I'm going to choose sun, and I guess we just continued choosing sun. I feel like I may have gone too far. Alright. Again, the herky-jerkiness of this kind of stuff, and my own slight inability to see the trees for the forest opens up a door to a lot of mistakes. Yeah, this runs us straight here. And there's supposed to be something here. I don't know what. I don't feel like I should just be going further. Okay. If we start this again and we go with the clue, maybe it's supposed to be you go pure white as in the moon this way, nah, that seems like I've traveled way too far. Okay. So we can kind of just brute force this then, I guess. If we can find where we're supposed to go, and then as long as we have that one point, either go that way or we go that way. Yeah, and it feels like it might just be the clue sends you one way and then the other way. And we'll just go a certain distance, and if the certain distance doesn't point us into the next location, then we'll go back. Of course, the problem with this is I may have missed the rocks. So I may have to go back to the grandfather's place, which, yeah, this might be a lot of starting over again. Go this way. That would be sun. And then it's moon. And then maybe moon again. This time. Did I miss something? Yeah, I think I just didn't go in the right direction. So then moon again between these two rocks. Alright. This way would just point me towards these rocks. Anyways. So it seems like it's sun, then moon, 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 then moon. Alright. So he's just making me go in circles. There was a game that came out called, what was it called? It was a MMO they were trying to develop around the universe of Myst, and it ran for a short time. What was it called? It wasn't called Riven. And it wasn't called Myst something. Well, I've totally forgotten the name of it. But yeah, there was one of the Myst games in that series. I guess I'm supposed to go with Sun this time. Had you at a late point in the game walk in a very specific pattern to unlock something. I don't know if I really believe that's what's happening here or not. I'm wondering if I just screwed this up and so you can't brute force this the way I am. That might be the case. There's all kinds of rocks. Don't remember where. Right, so honestly, I probably should just look at a walkthrough here. Alright, so this takes us here. And then this one is just, wish there was a way to, do we have something that we could just drop there? Yes, we could drop something, but it's so small, it's insignificant in the greater scheme of things. I'm definitely seeing some constellations. But I don't know what to take from that. It's pretty looking. I feel like I was told to. Right. This way. Yeah, it doesn't seem like sun ever works. Right. Where was that? Here it is. So moon goes back this way. And am I supposed to go way further this direction? Because if I go way further that direction, alright. So I guess the question we should do here is just see how much of this is left. Like, we are at the end, so I'm just gonna look at the walkthrough, bring that page back up. And scroll down to the very bottom and see if we can figure out what the final solution is for this final puzzle, which is frankly just as bad as all the other puzzles. Alright. Let's see. Follow the sun until you reach another one. On that, follow the moon. On the next one, follow the sun, and so on, swapping each arrows until you find a message on the ground. Okay. That seems to be the way this goes. So, yeah. I can figure this out then. We just need to start here, where the father is. Sun goes this way, and then gotta be a little careful. Moon, and then sun this way, and then moon. Yeah, this is then, so it was this direction. Sun, and this is where I run into problems. Like, let me see the walkthrough and see if there's a picture of where. Man, it still just, every time you rotate a cell phone, it scrolls right back to the top. No reason for it to do that. See, now here's the thing. I kind of know it's going to send me either there or there. I think there, because the next step in the walkthrough specifically says you're going to find text on the ground, and it's going to point you to that blue device that I had already found. The blue device that looks very much like a. Alright, this is new. So this should be moon, right? Maybe I was supposed to be doing sun. Of course, bumping into things then knocks our path way off. So I have half a mind just to ignore this part and just move on to the next step. Because I'm like trying to get through all this, and this is alright. So I went sun that time, and moon goes this time. And I guess you were supposed to have so much confidence by this point that you would be willing to go all the way to this point. Or not. See, it's the one over there. Okay. So now we're in big trouble, and if I swing widely, I have to kind of stop, swing, reset myself to the way I was going, stop, swing back, and reset myself to where I was going, if I'm going to look at anything. Let's see. Moon. I guess I'm a little happy here that they didn't bother to frustrate me further by forcing me to actually go through this wall. There's black desperatoxin balls attacking me, because certainly that could have been a lot more frustrating. There we are. Who am I? That must be the answer to the question. So yeah, you would not get to that part unless we had gotten to that point. And my guess, as we're approaching the end here, is I am some kind of new biological type clone of my father, or I'm some kind of magical emotional human in a world where emotions don't work. So this is the Shudan terminal of epistolary connection, just in the middle of nowhere. And I said this looked like a marker for like an underground cabling. That's what I was thinking it was. It seems like that kind of is what it is. And we can just talk to it. Here you'll find the answers to your questions, so we ask, who am I? That's right, Inaba. Who am I is the question that leads you to the secret of your past. You are but a step away from unraveling the mystery from the ancient, mystifying elements whose meaning I never did gain or grasp till the end of my days. Perhaps only you are destined to reveal their duties, their divine plan. I promised you a key to the chest that store your parents' belongings. The key is before you, and with it I pass to you that which I had guarded in my memory for many years. Okay, so this seems like this is just kind of like a safe. Although putting a safe in the middle of a field isn't too safe, and there's a spider web in it, so it's not airtight. Yes, the things in the chests belong to Demabul and Sanray. However, these people are not your parents or even your relatives. They had a son of their own once, but he had died in the explosion under the dome. He was 5 years old, and his name was Cheptal. Let's see. Chungtai or something like that. I can barely read it. Text is too small. Just put it in a nice big text. At least put it in the middle of the screen. Several days after the explosions, a golden eagle arrived here, carrying a human infant. He set the child down on the ground in front of the yurt. You were that infant, Inaba. Who you are and where you come from, I do not know. Okay. So somehow I'm related to the eagle. From that day, the home of my yurt, the home of my late son, has become a home for you and the Ungats. I was not repulsed by the strange appearance of your bodies. Who am I to pass judgment on Providence? Dismay came a month later when Chengstra's features on your face became undistinguishable. Goodbye forever, your grandfather Batjin. So, we get a key. And we get a letter. An empty envelope. So, if all the message was on the terminal screen, what's the point of the empty envelope in here? Well, we might as well just shine this on the empty envelope and see. It's just banging into it. Alright. I don't know what big revelation we can have here, other than we find human bodies in the chests, but they said those bodies weren't even my parents, so I guess that explains maybe some weirdness there. If I'm not really related to my parents, why would I genetically look or appear like him other than I'm a clone of that person or a shapeshifter of some sort? It's very heavy. I need to remove the stuff that's inside to move it. Alright. So, what do we have up here? We have Everything magazine, which a whole bundle of magazines. More Everything magazines. A radio. A either saddle, rocking horse, or piece of equipment. It looks like it's a saddle. And a older looking TV / computer. So now I can move this whole thing, and doesn't seem like any of that stuff was important. Just random garbage. I guess compared to most hidden object games, though, there is considerably less random garbage in a scene like this than a flat 2D hidden object game. On the other hand, most of the scenes in flat 2D hidden object games get used over the course of several different hidden object games over and over again, or at least it seems like that's how they're designed, so that you can have every single object in a flat 2D hidden object puzzle be something that needs to be found for some game. Big Fish Games is a publisher of those kinds of games, and they're kind of notorious for putting out, at least on a weekly basis, a new hidden object game on Steam. Well, it gave us light, which is nice. So we've got baby blankets or diapers. Nothing there too important. We've got like Mongolian boots. Nothing too surprising there. I kind of feel like it's the picture that's the important thing. Maybe the toy rocket, maybe a piece of equipment. A cube, toy cube. Let's see. Some other kind of electronics device. I don't know what that is. It looks almost like a braille printer or something. I have no idea. A rocket ship. I can hold on to that. Then you have some unmovable rugs in a picture. And yeah, it's a picture of people, and maybe in the background they're working at the facility. There's no back to that though, so you can't really see the back of it. So they just wanted to show you people, and those are probably people from who worked on the game. Packet of letters, one correspondence mentions Mark and Ida. I've already written you about him. He works nearby at the station. Well, a few years back, he met a girl. He says they saw each other only once in a company of friends, and somehow the way she looked at him, he's been dreaming of that moment ever since. Mark speaks of some strange sensation called the Babylonian effect. So really, is this just a love story? This is a world where love and falling in love and you know, making a baby doesn't happen, and that's what the sterility virus really is that people just don't have that primordial evolutionary prerogative to continue to have children. And so our father, who wasn't really our father, decided he actually wanted to have a child, or felt something like that. The story is weird. It's intriguing, but it's definitely weird. Mark speaks of some strange sensation called the Babylonian effect. That's a weird name. And that the entire institute is studying it at present. DeHamble and I laugh in return. The sensation is totally normal, Mark. We've studied it thoroughly long ago. Kick your science to the curb and go to Ida before she gets her body replaced. So yeah, it really feels like there was somehow a forgetting of just how to fall in love and have kids. And that's the big reveal. Is there anything else here to deal with? Odd to have a light in a chest, and batteries last forever, I guess. So, speak with Ida is our next thing to do. And so it seems like Ida, probably the original Ida, got pregnant and gave birth to you. Or to the other child. I don't even know.
I found it. You and Mark had met once before.
Yes, I already know. I remembered it.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
How? Tell me.
It was just after my college entrance exams. My friends and I were hanging out in the city as part of a larger group. Mark was there as well. I hadn't met him before then, nor seen him since. Our paths crossed once, and that was that.
So he had love at first sight, or he was crazy stalker. Either one could be true.
So what happened between you two?
Nothing at all. We didn't have a single exchange. We all just sat there with the guys on the cafe terrace chatting about this and that. It was your typical evening.
Apparently.
Mark was recalling some kind of special moment.
Nothing so special that it stayed with me. Except maybe there was this strange sensation.
A sensation?
Yes. Sometimes I get a peculiar feeling. It somehow resembles anxiety, but only partially. I can't really describe it. It is a sad, pleasant feeling. I had felt it again that particular evening, and...
I feel like this is probably going to be the end of where the game ends. Like, we've spent the vast majority talking to Ida, and I think we're just going to have a revelation in text form and then maybe fade to credits.
And what?
Anabish, I'm about to shut down.
Wait. We're not done figuring out your past.
And we won't. I am out of time. I received a message.
From whom?
From my neurochip. Only, the neurochip writes in red letters. I'm being informed that it is self-destructing. Know what I can do?
What?
Split myself in two.
What do you mean?
When I shut down, my upper half will split from my legs.
Why?
I've no clue. That's just how my body works. I can show you. Watch.
Wait, don't. Ida, listen.
I'm listening.
Maybe there's still a way to fix everything.
Fix everything? Well, there is a way. If you can travel to the past and pass 4 digits to Professor Koch, that would fix everything.
What 4 digits?
Fix everything.
So we have a new task added. Take Ida to a powerful source of electricity. We're gonna, I guess, get her hit by lightning, I guess. There are 4 digits here. No, those are 5 digits. Her chest piece. Her hair. Alright. So we need her to be hit by lightning, I guess. And so we're following the lightning. Honestly, I think it's a bit more of a poor self-destruction feature if all I have to do is put a lot of electricity in it. You can definitely see that there was experimentation going on here with different types of weather and lighting and such. They really wanted to depict each of these areas as a different thing. So an environmental artist basically did a big job on that. Are the balloons getting hit by lightning or something else? Because there's a lot of things that could be hit by lightning in this area. I'm gonna have to find something slightly more specific. New task added. Secure Ida in a vertical position at the center of the ruined flower bed. Ruined flower bed, okay. Which ruined flower bed? Am I supposed to do something with this? Let's see. Which one was the ruined flower bed? And there we've got a desperate toxin. I would call any of these potentially ruined flower beds. Let's see. Let's take a moment. I'm just gonna look at the walkthrough again, because again, it's super pointless. Okay, it's inside the dome on the right is where they want. Alright, so that makes sense. It really wouldn't have made any sense to get a task and a quest that would require you to turn around and come back outside. That bad labeling there, and bad all the flower beds look pretty ruined by my standards, or they seem similar enough that I don't see one really standing out as being ruined. Alright. So this is not the flower bed. Is this one? The floating things. If you position either vertically, I'll be able to plug in the... Who's saying that? So you're gonna sit there and maybe get shocked, and you're gonna get shocked? Let's see. Reanimate Ida with an electric cable. Where's an electric cable? Don't tell me I have to jump around or something. These spores are only really floating in this area. Seriously, where's an electric cable? walk in here. Let's see. Alright, back to the walkthrough, because why not? Oh, apparently just behind that area there's something, which again it makes somewhat sense, but I don't see it. I don't see a cable. Do I have the flashlight, by the way? I guess maybe. There it is. Again, not seeing the trees for the forest. I guess they want me to. Oh, did I just get hit by the Desperate Toxin? I bet I did. Man, that's not something that needed to happen right as we're trying to finish the game here. Again. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting hit by lightning or what. Nope, doesn't work. Seriously, where am I supposed to be plugging this thing in? Like, I can try and... Okay, every time the lightning hits, that thing is electrocuting me to death. And it's resetting the audio. So... Again, back to the walkthrough. Plug it into the torso. I've been trying that game. I don't think I'm this dumb. And I certainly hate when games treat me like I'm dumb as much as the next person. Down at the bottom, I guess, maybe, where it detaches. Maybe right there is where it's supposed to go. Torso. What part of a torso is a torso? This is just kind of floating and hanging over nothing. Maybe that chest part? Brain. Yeah, it's not Desperate Toxin, it's just... I'm just getting electrocuted. It shouldn't be this hard. Just make this game should just have been a walking simulator. Okay, there is something on the back. Alright, we needed to remove that part first. Fair enough. The walkthrough is not explaining details enough, which happens a lot. So we're going to get one final conversation, and that's going to be the end of the game. And I don't think we're going to get too much of a revelation beyond what I'm speculating is the story. If we do, I'll be a little surprised. You hear a human heartbeat after being electrocuted, which is interesting.
Are you there? Ida,
I'm here.
how do you feel?
Strange.
Strange? In what way? Describe your state.
I feel anxious.
That's good.
Good.
Yes. Just don't shut down. Look at me.
Why?
I'll explain everything later.
Maybe he's gonna have her transfer into you. But I don't think two people can be in the same in-body, and I don't even know if you're in an in-body. So my character is gonna explain everything? So were each of these objects that's being shown a hint to something that I missed because I didn't read most of this text? Maybe. Again, music in the soundtrack here, a big focus.
You have to know one thing. You said that it's this place for you and me. You said you wanna be just with me. You told me you won't leave without me. My baby, look at me. You have to know one thing.
Hope I don't get copyright claimed for this, but I probably will. This looks like live action video with real people.
Look at me and know one thing. Leave the cradle. You'll see emptiness as sweet as will be. A taste with a bitterness. You'll feel chagrin. You'll feel anxiety. Face it plenty. Leave the cradle.
Are you really going back in time and sending the 4-digit numbers to fix everything?
We can be together. I'm 100 years old, and you just 1 year old.
If this story has time travel after adding telepathy at the last second and really going nowhere with that story, that would be rather infuriating.
This is the path. This is the path to leave the cradle.
So we're just getting a lot of shadows of people.
Leave the cradle. You'll see emptiness as sweet as will be. A taste with a bitterness.
Getting more people in the credits than I thought we would get. Yes, this is really loud. That probably explains why it's so pretty looking. But yeah, this is way too many people for the game that actually finally came out. So there's a shadow couple on the right that are holding hands, where everybody else is walking alone. This is way too many people. Unless this was a Kickstarter game and they're listing people who supported it. This does seem like this might have been a Russian game production, which might explain the larger number of people on it by a little bit, but but yeah, otherwise, it's just like way too many people touch this game. So now the image is flipped and the couple is on the left that's holding hands. That's all it's doing is flipping the image. I'm kind of hoping that there's a post-credits scene. Now 2 couples are holding hands.
One day, you'll look closer at your reflection, and you'll throb with your entrails. You'll see the emptiness inside your chest, but you won't be scared anymore. Now, you'll understand that I'm nothing. You'll grow up. And if you remember my face, put me together from this emptiness. Call me a darling. Yeah. Just remember me. Remember me.
And
My
so
name is Beauty.
she turned into a desperatoxin person. I'm hoping there's like more story that gets explained here. It feels like this whole story and the ending was built around playing that music, and I didn't even understand what she was saying half the time in that last few bars of speech. So my understanding of the story is extremely limited here. Fade to black and then loading, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So I assume resume game would probably do kind of nothing. New beginning. I don't know what that does. Setting, authors. So either this was just the people that wrote the story, which would explain why the story is intriguing but all over the place and doesn't wrap up well or explain anything, or this means everybody and this is just a bad translation that worked on the game. Even if this is a list of everybody that worked on the game, then why were there so many other names on the credits? And even at that point, it's just like way too many. This is a game that's really a perfect example of too many cooks in the kitchen and nobody in charge. Somebody at some point should have said, hey, these mini games with the cubes, they don't work. They don't belong in this game. They shouldn't be there. The hidden object elements, they don't really work. The finding the flashlight and walking to a path, it kind of worked, but frankly, that should have been the main thing. And in all fairness, the hidden object stuff would have worked if you hadn't compiled the yurt with a ridiculous amount of stuff. If you had had even 3 or 4 yurts in a small area, then you could have spread out all the garbage elements. And yeah, like so many games, this feels like a game that you very much might... Let's see what happens if I click resume before we wrap up. This feels like a game where you very much might run into... no, it's resume. Just gives the credits again. And I don't see a reason to do that, so let's just hit escape. So if you ever want to see the credits again and listen to the music, then there's no reason to buy the DLC of the soundtrack. This game clearly was designed to sell a soundtrack. This is a game that feels like it's almost this surreal thing telling a story of Ida and the father Mark meeting and Mark falling in love at first sight, and then at some point Mark kind of having a dream surreal experience where he thinks he's his son Inabosh, and Inabosh, I suppose, is supposed to be falling in love with Ida as a robot also, but that doesn't even get expanded by much, really. Meanwhile, the world and its obsession with beauty, these might have been commentaries on things, but I think it's getting lost in translation as far as coming to English. I definitely understand why the most recent reviews on Steam on this are mostly negative, is that it's a frustrating game that didn't have to be that frustrating. This could have been a 3, 4, 5 hour walking simulator instead. Get rid of the parts that don't work and just tell us the story. Now, even at that, the story's still weak and weird. It is pretty though, and often you will just get suckered. Me in particular, I will get suckered into buying pretty games that don't play so well, and it's a lot harder to determine whether a game plays well or not, other than trusting the reviews on Steam. Well, that's it for Cradle. Maybe the character I was playing as was supposed to be the child of Ida and Mark, a child created via an alternate timeline, perhaps. Maybe that's what happened, is that you went back in time and got Ida and Mark together. They had a child. You magically appeared. Because you magically appeared, it caused the desperatoxin explosions for some reason. I don't know. Like, so much of this story does not get resolved at all. It's just left hanging. That's not good. That really takes a weird story that's intriguing down to just being a weird story that's not worth your time. And really that's what this boils down to, is that it's not worth your time because you're not going to get any answers. That's going to be it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me with YouTube, tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want to watch any of the other games I've covered, I have a playlist on every single game I've covered, so you can check those out too. Check out like Control or Echo or even Contrast in the series of one-word games, one simple word named for your games. This game doesn't really compare much to any of those games in the long run. If anything, it better compares to some of the point-and-click adventure games I played, like Broken Sword, and I guess Broken Sword 1 probably is a better experience by far than what this was. Anyways, I was wrapping up. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media services or get backup notifications, there's a bunch of links down in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, and that would be greatly appreciated. Or you can give me a one-time gift by friending me on Steam and gifting me either a gift card or a game off my wish list, or just a game you'd like to see me cover. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.